Good morning. Today is the 26th of September 2018, and the theme of today's video is cryptos rise again. We can see the price of Bitcoin here on the very short-term charts, just looking at the 5-minute bars. When we zoom out to the 3-month view and we're looking at the 12-hour bars, we can see Bitcoin is a ways away from rising strongly yet, but really making what could be a fantastic bottom formation. And this consolidation is looking bullish to me. And of course, I'm biased. I'm wanting Bitcoin to go up. I believe in it. And I think that it's going to take off. And I think that this is a bottom formation worth watching for. So what I look for in all of my trades for the simple trading plan is a break of the downtrend line, a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation like we're seeing right here, a larger 1, 2, 3 that we're seeing here, and the moving average crossover to occur. So those three things together make my trading signal. And if one of them is missing, I have to wait for all three to confirm that that trading signal is valid. So it's a simple trading plan, and it helps filter out some of the pump and dumps. It helps filter out some of the fake out breakouts by putting all those three things together. And it's really simple. You don't need all sorts of confusing indicators to follow along with. So what I'm going to do in this video is follow the same pattern and go through the cryptocurrencies to show which ones I think are going to rise again. Now, before I go any further, here's a risk disclaimer to say that I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't trading advice. These are not trading recommendations or alerts or anything. It's just my own trading system as I do a trading journal so that I can look back over time and see how I was doing in my predictions. So what I'm doing to track all of this is I have a spreadsheet, and I see we've got a few people who are signed in and checking it out right now. I've got a spreadsheet that I started in September 9th, and I'm going through the same spreadsheet over and over again and monitoring the trades. We can see that on September the 12th, many of them failed the initial predictions that I made on September the 9th, and they made new bottoms. Many of them are now putting in little wee bottom formations and have positive divergences from the price of Bitcoin, showing that they are growing more than Bitcoin is. On the 21st, I marked a bunch of them with good or great potential. And on September the 24th, I started to see some of my trading patterns, the trading signals being confirmed. And I marked each of these in a green box. And some of them failed and went down lower than the recent lows. So what I'm going to do is post a link to that spreadsheet here in the chat. So you can go over to that spreadsheet and log in and follow along with it. And just a quick moment before I do that, I want to jump over here to one broker and make a comment on this one, that it's another way to be growing your Bitcoin without trading cryptocurrencies. And there's a referral link. Not sure if that error, try edit and try again. It's got a dot before the HTTPS. It's not letting me post that link. Must know it's a referral link. Anyway, one broker. There's a link below the video in the description. And we're looking at the price of gold right here. I'm down a little bit on a 10 times leverage gold trade. And I'm up on the silver leverage trades. Gold and silver normally move together, so I'm expecting that this may be pulling back a bit, or is gold going to pull up its shorts and follow back along with silver? At any rate, you can trade on one broker. You can trade Forex up to 200 times leverage, so if I think this is going down more, I could trade it. Oh, this one's up to 50 times leverage. If I go to euro dollar and want to short this one as it's dropping here, might be a little late, but this one you can do up to 200 times leverage. So you can do multi-million-dollar trades on this platform. It's actually quite crazy. I'll have to pay attention to what's going on with gold here and see if I should be closing that position or not. At any rate, let's get back to the cryptocurrencies, because cryptos are on the rise, it is my belief. So what we're looking at here is the 12-hour bars looking at scenario AMP. And we can see here on the spreadsheet that scenario AMP failed the bottom formation on September the 12th, and it has not given a buy signal. And the reason it isn't giving a buy signal is that it does not have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in shape. It hasn't broken this downtrend line, and these moving averages haven't crossed over. And so it's just on the watch list still. Ardor did give a trading signal. Almost. The downtrend line hasn't been broken yet, so it's still one of the 3 criteria isn't there. We do have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in a small scale, and the moving averages have crossed over. So depending on your risk tolerance, that is a trading signal, and I've marked it as a buy to say that that's a confirmed trading signal in the spreadsheet. Basic attention token is building up into a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We don't have a lot of data here on Poloniex, but still a break above these levels would likely be a buy signal. Bitcoin Cash is not a buy signal yet. We can see it's still in the downtrend. We are making a little bit of a bottom here, but that has to turn around and break higher, and the moving averages have to cross over before that turns into a valid signal. Bitcoin has given us just the very beginnings of a trading signal. It hasn't broken above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation yet, but it has broken the downtrend line. So again, 2 of the 3 signals are in place, and depends on your risk tolerance if you want to jump into that one or not. I've marked it as a buy signal, and I have already purchased. BitShares, we can see here that it was a buy signal earlier, and you see my prediction of that I wrote the other day that I figured it was going to pull back and retest these levels before going higher to give a really good strong signal. So we have a 1, 2, this would be the number 3 point, and then a break above that is a great strong reversal signal, especially when we really zoom out to the long term here in BitShares. One trader I followed a long time ago pointed out that these triangle formations often can be used as predictors for how high the market is going to go after the triangle breaks out. And if that's the case, and we stand this massive triangle up on its end, then we can see that BitShares has the potential to do another massive move as it's done in the past. And it's building up to that right now. So I do believe that cryptos are going to be taking off big time. Let's zoom in on Burst Coin. The moving averages did cross over to give an entry signal out of this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the breach of the downtrend. So that was an entry signal, but it's also crossed back over again, which is an exit signal, which means that the market isn't quite ready yet. And so it would have been an entry here and an exit there at a small profit maybe. But even if it's a loss, that's an exit signal to stand back and watch the market again. And the reason that is to protect us against the fake out breakouts that often happen in a downtrending market. Very often the markets will consolidate, they'll make a fake out breakout, and then the downtrend continues. And so this is what this filter does, is it keeps you out of those trades and protects your money. Let's go on to Clam Coin. It's down to some really old historical lows. If we zoom right out in the 1 week charts, the 1 week bars, we can see here that it's way back to the original lows, but it's made some huge moves in the past. A little bit of a move here in April and May. We'll see what this does now in 2018. Not making a trading signal yet. In fact, the moving averages made a trading signal, then they said get out. They were touching along here, broke a little bit of way, and then they said get out. So it's still got time on this market before it's turning around and making a solid enough bottom to be worth trading. Now, where did that chat go? I appreciate you guys watching along. If you have any questions about any of these markets or any other market, let me know in the chat and I'll take over and take a look at what you're talking about or asking about. Civic coin is marked as one of the top potential coins in the spreadsheet. And yet it hasn't given the trading signal quite yet, which is fantastic because it's opportunity. And you see this double bottom, you see this bowl shape consolidation. Now we see some pre-pump candles to the upside at the same time that Bitcoin is showing strength out of this recent retracement. That is very bullish. Now Civic Coin is got a great project going on here, and the Brave browser just announced that they are going to use Civic Coin as a way to verify identities in the Know Your Customer regulations. And I think that the more this technology is used for verifying identities is going to make this coin be worth a lot more than it is now. So this is one of my top potential picks. Dash and the other anonymous coins, I personally think that they are going to be regulated and the prices will crash like crazy. It won't kill the technology, but they'll be removed from exchanges is my prediction. So Bitcoin showing strength. Dash is actually breaking lower out of this big consolidation. When we go into the trading system signals itself, we see that there was a breach of the downtrend, a bit of a bottom formation, and the moving average crossover. So those are the three things that I look at. But then I also look at the 4-hour bars as my exit signal. So this is saying get out. This is saying get out because prices are making a top formation and the moving average is crossing over the negative way. That's a get out signal for me because I'm very skittish at the beginning of a trade. It's sort of like taking off in an airplane where the initial takeoff from the runway is you got to stop immediately if everything isn't perfect. You have to get out of that takeoff. And even when the plane has taken off and it's off the ground, that the first while until it gets some height is the most dangerous time in a flight because there's no time to react. If it does come against you, you're immediately into loss. So I'm very skittish at the beginning of a trade for anticipating the fake out breakouts all the time. Once it goes with me and it proves me correct, then I can relax a bit and leave my stop loss back further. Now Decreed is also picked as one of my top potential coins. And I also believe that it's got potential to do a popcorn move, one of these big candles and wicks to the upside. And the only way to profit from those is to have your sell orders layered out in advance so that when you wake up in the morning, you look back and say, hey, wow, something sold out. It's my Decreed I took profit on. Now I can buy in more of this or I could buy into something else with that profit. Decreed I think is going to take off. Let's go into the 12-hour bars. We can see the bottom formation, the breach of the downtrend, the moving average is getting closer and closer. It won't take much of a price move upwards to make those moving averages cross over now. So it's getting really close. Digibyte I've been really bullish on because of this massive triangle building up. Like we saw in BitShares, we could stand this triangle upwards and we can see how much upside potential there is building up in this market right now. Of course, on the other side, there's that much potential to the downside. But since we're at these historical levels, I'm anticipating it's going to go up. So in the 3-month view, we can see that the downtrend line is being broken. We have a new 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up. And when prices break above these levels, it's going to be a clear buy signal. And I have a great potential, great anticipation for Digibyte. It's marked as one of the top potential coins in the spreadsheet as well. Dogecoin. It has already taken off. I anticipated it was going to come back further, but it hasn't come back that much. You can see the moving average crossover. You see the bottom formation, and it was one of the first to show a big move upward and give premonition that the markets were going to be taking off. And it was going up as Bitcoin was coming down. It just ignored the rest of the market. So Is it going to consolidate and go higher? This is giving us a potential to add on to this trade. The moving averages have crossed over to say get out on the 4-hour bars. But if they cross over again, that would be another add-on position, just like this one was, to buy here, add on more here, and then get out at the top formation. This could be another opportunity to add on to a trending market. EOS. Looking at the 12-hour bars, we see that it's given a buy signal, then a get out signal, then a buy signal, and it's consolidated back a bit. But on a longer term chart, we can see this is really building momentum. It really follows along with Bitcoin though. So as Bitcoin goes up, so does EOS. As Bitcoin comes down, so does EOS. And we're watching Bitcoin show a little bit of strength, higher lows here. This could be a takeoff for EOS as well. Now we're looking at Ethereum Classic, and it has not given it the buy-in signal yet. It's giving a little bit of a bottom formation. The moving averages hasn't crossed over. The downtrend line hasn't been broken. So I expect that after Ethereum breaks out of this, we're looking at Ethereum now, it's broken the downtrend line. We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, come back to test the number 3 point again, which gives us a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. When those moving averages cross over, then that'll become a buy signal. And I know that a lot of people trade closer time frames, and we're looking at this as a top formation and going short, and then looking at this as a bottom formation and going long. But for my own part, I like to step back from the market a bit more, because the trading bots have a terrible habit of coming against me when I put on a trade. And so by stepping back from the waves of the price movement and look at the tidal movements of the cryptos, then this 12-hour bar method helps filter out a lot of those swings in the markets that are nail biters most of the time. Expanse is also making a potential bottom formation. The moving averages haven't crossed over, but the downtrend line has been broken. So when Ethereum and Ethereum Classic go, I believe that Expanse will go as well. Now we're looking at Factum, and if we go to the super long-term 1-week charts, we can see Factum is back to early historical lows and making a nice bottom formation where we have a low here, another low here, another low, and consolidating now, looking great. When these moving averages cross over, that will be a trading signal. This one is getting warmed up. Game credits, I'm not so sure of. It's making a bottom formation. The moving averages are getting close together. Should that break, then it's the trading signal. And whether I'm sure of it or not, when it makes my trading signal, I try to act on it. Even if I'm not actually trading, I'll mark it down as a paper trade and monitor that so that I can learn more and get better at trading in the future. Now we're looking at gas, and it is making a bottom formation as well. Downtrend line has been broken. The moving averages came so close to crossing over, but didn't quite, which is great, because if you had bought in here and you're holding it now, that's a pretty serious drawdown. Not in the really long term. And that's what I believe this price will be doing again in the next while, is taking off and really surging. GNO is actually one of the markets marked as a fail, where it's failed past August 13th lows, it's failed past September the 12th lows to new lows here, and it's one of the only few that is showing this fail. But if that number of markets increases to show more failures of the bottom formation, then that's very bearish for all of the markets. If just a couple are doing it, it's okay. Just reflects on their project. Okay, this one's delisted. Here we are looking at GNT, Golem Network Token. Bottom, languishing along here. When we zoom out on the Golem Network Token, we can see that it's been much higher in the past. Much higher. And given that upside potential and this bottom formation, it's an interesting one to watch. But I really want to watch for this moving average to cross over first. Hunter coin is more volatile, and the 3-month moving average, the 12-hour bar crossed and uncrossed, crosses and uncrosses. And so just for this particular market, it's probably better to go to the 1-day view and watch for this moving average to cross over. That way you're more insured of getting the real trend change rather than a fake out breakout. KNC is too short of data on Poloniex, but we can see this massive candle to the upside. Massive, from 5,700 to 120,000. So a huge gain there. But again, it's the popcorn move where you have to have your sell orders layered out in advance. Library credits is looking soft here. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, down trend line break. Moving averages are getting close to breaking. Looking good. Loom, too short of data on Poloniex, so I won't comment on it much, but the September the 12th lows, some pre-pump buying candles. Looks good. Lisk, I was expecting more from. We've got some candles to the downside. It saw this moving average cross over on the 12-hour bars, then it said get out, and now it's just been waiting. So when that crosses over again, it'll should be good, because we've seen Lisk prices really take off in the past. And I believe in this project. I believe that it's going to have better turnout than it has right now. Litecoin is getting very close. There's our bottom formation. The moving averages are very close to crossing over. And I believe that in the next year, Litecoin is going to outperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin may go up a percentage, but Litecoin is going to go up a greater percentage. MadeSafe coin, there's our 1, 2, 3 bottom, the triangle consolidation. And the 1-year view, you can see this massive triangle. And if we were to stand that up on its end, that would take us back up to the 2,500 Satoshi. And way back up here. So really fantastic potential. Navcoin, I'm looking for the popcorn move to take off in this one, but it already did a little bit of that pre-staging. A 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, shot higher, but the moving averages in the 1-day haven't crossed over. Let's check it out in the 3-month. Indeed, they did cross over on the 12-hour bar, and nowhere near uncrossing. So it's good to have, if you could have bought in there, then prices never have come back to retest that buy-in level. You can just be sitting and waiting to see what goes on next. This one's delisted. Namecoin, consolidation pattern, a little bit of strength holding there. It could go. NXC has been delisted. NXT, we can see this big long downtrend. And then we see a bit of a bottom formation. So I don't know what this is going to do, if it's going to continue on the downtrend or make a good enough turnaround here that we can actually call it a trading signal. OMG, I did much the same thing to show this downtrend, and then it's just coming to the end of that, broken the downtrend line, creating a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and so a crossover of the moving averages there would be the last confirmation for this market. Pascal coin made a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. The moving averages crossed over even in the 1-day, but in the 12-hour bars they crossed over even sooner. They have not uncrossed yet, so it's still a hold on to this one. Maybe even consider adding on to it as that consolidates more. PPC coin really took a big wick back. If I zoom back a good distance here, it is making a bottom formation. The moving averages crossed over and then uncrossed to say get out, and that would have saved you from the worry of this wick. But as they cross over again, I think it'll be a more confirmed entry. Quantum, not very much data on Poloniex, but it hit these September the 12th lows, made a consolidation, and really shot up. So we'll have to look at, say, Binance or something for longer term data. Rep made a bottom, it's consolidating, but it hasn't really broken this downtrend line firmly enough yet, and the moving averages haven't crossed over, so there's nothing to do there. SBD is looking like it's gaining a little bit more momentum here. It did a big shot above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation after it broke the downtrend line and the moving average crossover. So this kind of draw back maybe against your risk control rules, but pretty good entry there. Sia coin, one of my top potential coins. If we look back at this over the long-term history, we can see we're at historical lows, same just above this support and resistance level all the way along, and it's made some big moves in the past. I like the technology, I like the project, and so I did indeed purchase into some of this, and there's our buy signal using the simple trading plan. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, break of the downtrend. The only thing is this buy signal came in and the prices are not above the number 2 point right in here. So there's still one filter not fully engaged. SNT is another one without enough data, but September the 12th low, strength, and looking good, so be worth researching more. Steam is now making a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and we're watching for that one to take off as well. It's not quite a buy signal yet. StorageX is also not a buy signal, and moving averages haven't crossed over, but almost everything else is in place. The downtrend line breach, the moving averages are near crossing over, and we have a little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. STR is one that I've traded and added on to. So if I zoom in on this, we can see this flag here where I bought into the initial position, and then I added on to the position here and did not sweat it out as prices were doing this. I just kept holding both of my positions, and it's turning out well now. Strat looks like it's going to be continuing to go up. So we zoom out to the 3-month view in this. There's the moving average just coming close to cracking. The downtrend line has been broken. We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. Prices are coming up to push on that number 2 point. Looking good. And of course, the long-term history of this gives it lots of room to do some amazing moves. Syscoin. I'm looking at this as a long-term bull shape. We've got a lower lows here on the 12th of September and a consolidation. If I go to the 12-hour bars, we see the moving averages getting closer now and could be a buy signal right away. Viacoin, no buy signal yet. VTC, no buy signal yet, but it's broken the downtrend line. We have a little 1, 2, 3 bottom. The moving averages are coming close together, so that won't be long before that buy signal comes in. This one's been delisted from Poloniex. Counterparty has not been delisted, but it's one of the few coins that has gone down to new lows. So that's the second fail coin. Looking at XEM, it's making a bottom formation, breaking the downtrend line, but the moving average hasn't crossed over yet, so there's no signal there. XMR, like Dash, I believe will be regulated, but this chart pattern is looking pretty good. We have the 1, 2, 3 bottom, we have the moving average crossover just as the downtrend line comes along. So we've got some strength. Now we've got this triangle forming up here. I don't know if it's going to go up or down from here. We'll wait and see. Here's another one of the fails where it's gone down below recent lows from what we've been watching. But when we go back to a little bit longer time frame, we see that it consolidated here in this price range for a long time before a breakout. So if it does that again, consolidates for a while, it's likely going to break higher. Ripple is one that really took off, and when we're zooming in on the 1-week view, this is a really big move. But if we're zoomed out on the 1-year move, it's just the start of what could be a great move. Nice to see it. Zcash actually looking strong. The moving average is crossed over here. We have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. the moving average crossover, and the downtrend line break. All three are adding up to a buy signal. And when we move on to this market, it's also giving us that same buy signal. That's the 4-hour bars. On the 12-hour bar, it's not quite the buy signal. It must be the same over on Zcash. Yeah, the 12-hour bar, not quite a buy signal. So it depends on your risk tolerance. If you jump in on the 4-hour bar and have greater odds of being whipsawed and fake out breakouts, or do you step back a little bit and use the 12-hour bars and those moving average crossovers so that you have fewer fake out breakouts? And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate having you guys along. No questions this time though. Nobody's asking for me to go over a specific market. That's okay. At any rate, I am going to sign off of this live stream and wish you all the best in your crypto trading.